Welcome everyone to the College and Career Corner, the Wednesday night amazing event that we host, College and Career Readiness from Secondary Learning, in which we go over the 4 E's. The 4 E's is what's going to help get you prepared for life after high school, whether you're going to explore with a gap year, employ, go and get yourself a job right after high school, if you're going to enlist in the military, or if you're going to enroll in a post-secondary education, and that could be a 4-year college, 2-year college, technical college, whatever is best for you. So again, the College and Career Corner, we just go over the many options you have to help you post-graduation and to help you now in high school. So tonight we have a very, very special guest. We have Yushika Florence here from CareerSource Broward. She's gonna do an amazing presentation for you guys, provide you with lots of information. And towards the end of the presentation, if you guys have any questions, we will be here to answer them. So go ahead and put them in the chat. And again, at the end of the presentation, we will answer them. So I'm going to stop sharing now and over to you, Yushika.
Thank you again, Curly, for having me. And I am so excited to be here to share with you all some very good information about the program that is available to you through CareerSource Broward. So let me get my slideshow ready. Okay, so to begin with, my name is Yushika, and I am the manager of youth programs and services at CareerSource Broward. I am here to talk to you about our youth programs, and the two main programs that we have are our Summer Youth Employment Program, or SYEP, as well as our WYOA Youth Program. So I'd like to begin the conversation about SYEP. Now, as you can probably tell based on the name of the program, this program is for youth between the ages of 16 and 18, and it provides you with the opportunity to work during the summer months. Now, this is paid work experience, and the wage right now is at $14 an hour. So the reason why this is such a crucial and important program is because you're provided with a real, true learning experience. You're working in actual businesses, learning how to do certain jobs, learning different tasks, and you will learn lessons about not only how to get a job, but also how to keep that job once you get it, as well as how to become more professional when you're in the workspace. Next, SYEP strives to provide you with jobs that are very closely related to what your career choices are. So, meaning we want this experience during the summer to be meaningful for you. So if you're interested in becoming an office manager, we'd like to place you in the SYEP assignment that's closely or identical to what your career pathways are. Next, I want to talk a little bit about how we make this program possible. We make it possible through our amazing funders. Our main funder is the Children's Services Council, and we also have other funds that we use through CareerSource Broward, in addition to the City of Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, the cities of Hollywood and Dania Beach, Bank of America, as well as several other cities and municipalities in the Broward County area. So SYEP, each year, we serve about 700 to 1,000 students who participate in our program, and we have about 3,000 students who apply each year. It is a very lengthy process to go through the application process. Not that it's difficult at all, but it's just, documentation that we need to get from you, and we just need to make sure that we're matching you with the best work assignment, as I mentioned earlier, based on whatever your career pathways are. So although the program doesn't start until June, we start the process early. So this year, our online portal opens on the 19th, which is only about a week or so away at 9 a.m. Now, this is the application process begins online, so you can complete your application online, submit your documents online, and once you're done with that portion of the process, someone from the SYEP team will contact you so that they can discuss what the next steps are. What do you do in SYEP? So in addition to working and gaining that valuable work experience, you will also attend a 3-day course where you will learn more about safety while on the job, as well as employability skills. Now, I don't know how many of you have heard this buzzword, employability skills, employability skills. What does that mean? Employability skills are skills that you learn to help you excel and maintain employment. That can be anywhere from learning how to be a good member on a team, learning how to communicate well, not just orally, but written, sprucing up your leadership skills, learning how to problem solve and de-escalate situations, conflict resolution even. These are all things that you will encounter in a workspace. You will also receive, like I mentioned before, $14 an hour, and it's paid work experience, obviously, for 8 weeks. And then lastly, you will receive consistent support from a dedicated worksite monitor. So this is someone that you will have constant contact with and just give them honest feedback about how things are going at your worksite, and have constant communication as well with the supervisor at the worksite that you're assigned to. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the impact that this program has. I mean, it's easy to say, oh yeah, you get $14 an hour, you learn these valuable skills, but I want to show you guys the impact that it has, not just on the student who participates, but also in the community, the businesses. So here you can see that City of Pompano Beach is one of our participants in the program. And in their general services department, you can see that they've commented here that how instrumental 3 of the SYAP participants were to their work that needed to be completed in that particular summer. They were crucial in helping them to achieve their department goals. And so for them, it was a very rewarding experience. And then just below that, you see a testimonial from Tara. She mentions that this is her 2nd year in the program, and she came back because she had such a positive and encouraging experience the first time. In both instances, she was able to apply the skills at work that she actually learned in school. And because of the experience that she gained while in the program, she's now was able to earn her certification in Microsoft Office. So, you know, when you participate in the SYAP program, it's not just about the immediate gains that you get, $14 an hour. It's about the long-term benefits that you have from participating in this program. In fact, we've had a good number of students who were offered permanent jobs subsequent or after they worked at, you know, a variety of businesses in our summer youth employment program. So the next program that I'd like to talk to you about is our WIOA youth program. Now, WIOA is an abbreviation for the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. This is a federal law that provides individuals with a variety of different workforce services. It was actually signed into law on July 22nd in 2014 under the Obama administration. So what this legislation does is that it promotes career pathways, helps individuals to earn industry recognized credentials, which is important because you can attend a school or an institution and earn a credential, but if it's not recognized by the industry that you're interested in pursuing, it's not really going to serve you well. So the focus of this legislation, which is what our program is based on, we want to make sure that we're giving you quality training that is relevant, that's going to help you to excel in whatever your chosen career pathway is. WIOA also promotes that to help individuals receive their post-secondary certificates for degrees. In addition, it really opens the gateway because prior to this legislation, it's not to say that access wasn't available to individuals, but it wasn't that easy to access. So what the WIOA legislation has done is to help put more career centers in our communities so that they're easily accessible to people who are interested in pursuing employment, education, training, etc. So just opening the doors and providing more of that access makes a huge difference in terms of, you know, your possibility of actually excelling in the workforce. Now, in terms of the WIOA Youth Program, there are two sides of it. There's one part that's for in-school youth, and then the other program that's for out-of-school youth. Tonight, I'm speaking on the OSY, or out-of-school youth program. Now, of course, each program has their criterion, right? And the WIOA Youth Program is no different. So now I'd like to go over some of the eligibility factors for WIOA Youth. First, you must be between the ages of 17 and 24. And that 24, there's a small caveat to that. You need to be at least 23 at the time that you enroll. Okay, of course, you must be a resident of Broward County and not attending school. You also need to have what we refer to as a documented barrier. I'll get into that a little bit on the next slide, or low income according to federal guidelines. Also, if you're 18 or older and you were born a male, you need to be registered for selective service. And finally, you need to be a U.S. citizen or authorized to work in the U.S. So let's talk about what some of those barriers are. The first one is a school dropout. So if you are an individual who has not achieved or attained their high school diploma or GED equivalent, then that would make you eligible for this program. School dropout does not apply to anyone who's already earned their high school diploma or GED and started to take college courses and then dropped out. This is solely for high school dropouts. Next, homeless or runaway. Someone who's currently in foster care or has been in foster care at any point in their life. Pregnant or parenting. So this can be the woman who actually, carried the child, or the father who's helping and assisting with parenting. Any individual that's had some type of involvement with the criminal justice system. And this can be either in juvenile or the adult system. I just want to point out here that this doesn't mean that you had to have been, sentenced and you're on probation or anything like that. It's any involvement. So if you were arrested, or if you're like for juveniles, there's a civil citation program. So anything that's like that would be considered involvement with the criminal justice system, which would make you eligible for this program. Any person that has a documented disability. And lastly, someone who is considered low income. Now, of course, there are federal guidelines that really regulates what and who is considered to be low income, but just know that that is an eligibility factor for our program. Next, services. What do you get out of this program? Why should you enroll, or why should you, even be interested in this program? There are a variety of reasons. First, we spoke earlier about employability skills. You'll learn valuable employability skills that may not now seem that important to you, but once you land that job and you're interested in, promoting or going to the next level, you absolutely need to have sharp employability skills to make yourself a more competitive candidate in the workforce. Next, scholarships. We offer scholarships up to $12,000 for training programs that are approved by us. So that means any program that we approve are occupations that are in high demand. Because again, we want to make sure that we're giving you the relevant education, quality education at the right time. So these approved programs are based upon data that says, okay, this occupation is projected to be growing in the, for the next 5 to 10 years. So we definitely want to set individuals on that path and help them to achieve credentials so that they can excel in those occupations. I mentioned earlier about internships. We provide internships and we call that our WEX program, or work experience. It's similar to SYEP, but it's for a longer period of time. So in the WEX program, you earn $15 an hour and you can work up to about 4 to 5 months in a work assignment that's, again, closely related to whatever your career pathway or passion is. The maximum amount of hours that you can work a week is 28 hours because, again, the intent here is not to provide full-time employment, but to provide you, again, with the valuable and meaningful work experience where you gain that work experience so that you can then, add that to your resume and say that I have experience in this area. And, some employers, they can make the decision on whether they want to provide you with the opportunity to work there so that you can learn even more within your chosen career pathway. Next, we offer apprenticeships in a variety of fields, as well as entrepreneurial skills along with financial literacy, leadership, and support services. I want to tell you a little bit more about our support services. So we offer transportation assistance, where you can receive up to $200 each month to help support your finances in getting you from point A to point B in WIOA approved activities such as getting to and from work or the paid internship or school. Another support service that we offer is performance incentives. So, and this is a really cool one because I think that we all need to be motivated, right, to continue on our path. Even when we've set really awesome and great goals for ourselves, sometimes we get tired along the way. So embedded into our program, we provide performance incentives. So what does that look like? So let's say that you enrolled in our program and you decided that you were going to enroll in an EKG technician program. And that program is about 9 months long. So at the beginning of your enrollment, you discuss with your success coach, okay, this is what my plan is, and then they'll set performance incentives along the way. So one incentive may be if you make it through halfway of the program with good grades, then you'll get a performance incentive of, say, $25. If you continue and complete the course, you get $75. If you actually earn your credential or, certification in that field, then you get an additional, dollar amount, whatever is decided on, because there are limits for, each incentive. But we do provide, nice incentives, and that helps to keep you motivated and you're rewarding yourself for a job well done. The last supportive service that I want to talk about are our clothing vouchers. We recognize that not everyone is in the position to have a wardrobe that's appropriate for them to wear at job interviews or to attend paid internships or even proper attire for school. So each year we provide a one-time clothing voucher of $100 that can be used to purchase clothes and shoes that are appropriate for the workplace or education environment. And lastly, follow-up. Our follow-up services, I think, are pretty important up there with support services and employability skills, only because we want to maintain contact with you after you exit the program. We want to make sure that we can still deliver any type of support that we can to help you to maintain your employment and excel at wherever you're at. So we provide transportation assistance once you've exited our program, and we maintain contact with you for a year after you exit. Career development. So remember earlier I talked a little bit about what our overall goal, what the goal is for WIOA law, the legislation, is to prepare you for success in the workforce. So when you enroll in our program, there are a couple of things that we highlight. The first of them is learning what your strengths are. Sometimes we take for granted, there are some people who come into this world and they know what they're good at, but there are others of us who may struggle and may, take a little bit longer for us to really recognize and be aware of what we're naturally good at. So in order for us to, assess that, you'll sit with your success coach and do some career assessments. And based on the results of those assessments, you'll learn or have a better idea of, okay, I'm really good at these things. So with these clusters of traits, I will probably be better in this particular occupation or industry, which leads me to the second bullet point of career exploration. You definitely want to explore careers where you have natural strengths. You know, I'm not saying that you shouldn't explore an area where you're not naturally strong in, but you're more likely to succeed if you were to choose a career pathway where you have natural abilities and or talents in. Next, once we've determined, okay, this is what you're good at, this is a career pathway or pathways that may be good for you, a good fit for you, we want to teach you how to market yourself, because even if you have the degree and you have the education, you still need to know how to package yourself to employers, because they don't know you. They don't know all of the wonderful things and qualities that you possess, but you do. So we will show you how to package that. And the main way that you do that is through your resume. So before you even get an interview, the first thing that an employer is going to see is your resume. So you need to know how to market yourself to make yourself a more competitive candidate. Because remember, you're not the only person applying for that job. So you want to make yourself stand out in whatever ways that you can. Additionally, we teach you how to do cover letters. For some jobs, you know, you really need to write a cover letter to just give them a little bit more of summary of who you are, because your resume may not do enough, especially, you know, it really depends on the type of positions that you're applying for. And we also teach you how to interview well. You know, some people interview well, they're just naturally good, they have the gift of gab, but other people, you know, it's a real challenge for them. So we give you foundational skills and tips on how to interview well. And lastly, on my list is soft skills. So soft skills are very important. They're, you know, pretty much similar to employability skills. These are just skills that are not black and white. So an example of a soft skill would be conflict resolution. Another example of a soft skill would be collaboration. How well do you work with others? Now, these are skills that are so vital to you being able to maintain a job. So you may ace the interview and like do really well and get the job, but what are you going to do? What skills do you have to actually keep that job? And beyond keeping it, what skills do you have to help you to excel and to be promoted within that industry? So those are important things. And we just want to make sure that we're properly preparing you for success in the workforce. Next, partnerships. I can't stress enough how important partnerships are. Everything in this world and life are about relationships, whether it be business, personal, everything. We're humans, we're social beings, and we are created to relate to each other. So partnerships are crucial because, you know, you provide each other with different benefits or, you know, opportunities to learn and or grow. And as that applies to our YUA Youth program, we partner with businesses in the community. We also partner with different colleges, universities, and educational institutions so that we can provide individuals with that access to quality training and with access to, you know, high demand occupations. But another type of partnership that I want to talk to you about is your partnership with your success coach. This is a person that you will be assigned if you enroll in this program who will help you. They're going to be right alongside you. They're your partner in helping you to achieve whatever goals that you set for yourself. So the first thing about goal setting, we want to make sure that we set SMART goals. I'm not sure how many of you have heard that acronym before, SMART, but it's a technique and a way to set achievable goals. So in SMART, the S stands for specific. Set specific goals, goals that are not vague. M is for measurable. You need to set a goal that you can measure. So instead of saying, I want to do well in school, how are you going to measure that? What does well mean? Does that mean you're going to get all A's and B's in a semester? Make sure that you set yourself up like that so that you can hold yourself more accountable so that you can actually achieve those goals. Next, the A in SMART is for achievable. Set realistic goals because you really don't want to set yourself up for failure and, you know, also to cause yourself to not be motivated if you don't achieve that goal. Next, the R is for relevant. Set goals that are relevant. Earlier I mentioned, you know, whatever your chosen career pathway is, you want to make sure that you're setting goals that are relevant, directly related to that. So if you're interested in pursuing an occupation in cybersecurity, Your goals should be directly related on what is going to help you to land that job in cybersecurity, not what's going to help you to land a job in retail or sales and marketing. You need to be focused and make sure that you set your goals and that they're relevant. And lastly, T is for time. Set a time limit on it. So again, you hold yourself accountable so that you're saying, okay, within this amount of time, I'm going to achieve X, Y, and Z. And that's not to say when you sit down and you set these goals with your success coach at the beginning that they're not going to change. Of course, they're going to change because life is about change. So as your goals change, then you can, just make sure that you stay on track with this guideline of SMART. Next, your success coach will help you to learn those employability skills that we talked about earlier, and also help you in your journey of career exploration. The role of a success coach is to help you discover things about yourself. Because sometimes we don't realize all the strengths and the talents that we have, but others can see it so easily. But so you need someone to help you to, draw that out of yourself, or to see and recognize and be aware of what your strengths are. Next, your success coach will help you with your job search, and they will be your main point of contact for those support services that I mentioned earlier. Next, so if you're in this program, what does it take for you to be successful? In our opinion, you need to be wholehearted. And what does that mean? You need to be real and honest with yourself. Because if you're honest and authentic with yourself first, then you can communicate that to the success coach and let them know what your goals are and what's really in your heart, what your passions are, what career do you want to pursue. I is for inspired. You need to be inspired to become a better version of yourself. Life is about growth and change. So you want to make sure that in this program, you want to give it your all, and you want to be inspired to be the best version of yourself that you can be at this season in your life. Oh, optimistic, stay positive. In life, you're always going to have setbacks. But what's important is to remain positive so that you have that positive mindset, so that you're setting yourself up for future success. And lastly, A for action. You can't be all talk. You got to walk the walk, and you have to actually take the steps so that you can get closer and closer to achieving your goal. Next, so as you go through the program and you're, working on your goals, these are some things that you can expect as you approach completing the program. Number one, like I mentioned earlier, you're going to revisit how well are you progressing on achieving your goals. You need to take a hard look at it and say, okay, maybe I was a little too excited at the beginning when I set these goals. So let me try to make some edits or modifications to it that are more realistic, and that's fine. Next, you need to start updating your resume. So if you've chosen to go the route to participate in our WEX program, which is the work experience, the paid internship, right? That experience that you've earned, you need to add that to your resume. Or if that's your first job, that's fine. Create your first resume, because again, that's going to be a crucial tool in helping you to market yourself. Next, sharpen your interviewing skills. We talked about that already. Next, networking. Networking is so important. That's another way that you market yourself to potential employers. So you need to talk about and start thinking about, what are your strategies? How are you going to network? There are a ton of tools that you can use to network. So many different social media platforms that you can use, community organizations. Just make sure that you have a plan so that you can increase your chance of getting your foot in the door and getting that interview. And next, your job search. So you have to start somewhere, right? So after you've learned all of these awesome skills, you have an amazing resume, you're ready to sit down and do, an amazing interview, you need to start applying for those jobs. So your success coach will be with you along the way to help you with that process. Next, once you're at the end of our program, our services don't stop. When you're in follow-up for a year after you exit, we will contact you every 3 months or quarterly just to check in and see how things are going. We can still provide you with transportation assistance while you're in follow-up, just to help support you as you're getting back and forth to work or school. And we honestly want to know how you're doing. And if there's anything that we can do to help support you and, get you going or keep you motivated, that's what we're here for. So we want you to share your success stories with us and don't hold back. Sometimes people think, oh, it's not really a big deal. You never know how much your story that you think isn't a big deal is a huge inspiration to another person. So don't be shy. Share your success stories with us because we'd love to share it with others to help motivate or inspire someone. And lastly, pay it forward. If you're in this program and you have such an amazing experience and it's really had a positive impact on your life, tell someone else about it and help them so that they can enrich their lives as well and, find out some new things about themselves, like while they're doing their career exploration. Lastly, here are a couple of important numbers for our program. Again, this is me, Yushika, and here's my contact information, along with my colleagues, Javaro, who's a supervisor of the program, and our two success coaches, Akeem and Taryn. So that's their contact information, my contact information as well, and I'm done. So does anyone have any questions about our programs?
Awesome. Very great presentation. Lots of information. So we do have some questions. I noticed that some of the questions came in and then you literally answered them, but if you don't mind, I'm still going to go through them anyways. All right. So the first was, how much in scholarships can one get?
You can get up to $12,000 in scholarships.
That's a great amount. That's more than Pell Grant, so that's awesome.
It is. I didn't have that when I was in college.
What if we don't really know where we want to work, or I guess what we want to do?
That's a great place to be, actually, to not know, because I think when you're in that space mentally, you have a more open mind. So that's where the career assessments come in big time. You take these assessments and you answer it honestly. You remember I talked about being authentic. Answer those questions honestly on the assessment so you can get a really accurate idea of where your strengths lie, because those assessments are really, really good tools in pointing you in the direction of occupations or industries that may be well suited for you. So that's a good start. Start with the career assessments and then start to explore those areas or those industries that come up in your assessment results. And then, you take it from there and you choose which ones are better aligned with you, your personality, your goals, what you intend to achieve in life.
Thank you for breaking that down. I know that some of our students, they have access to assessments on Navient and, some of their classes offer them things, but I don't think they realize that when you take the assessments, it adds on. It tells you, okay, this is my personality. So here's some jobs that I might be good at, or these are some of my interests. How does that become a career? So thank you for breaking that down. What if we're bad at our job?
That's great too. I know you guys probably like, oh, she's just a little bit too positive, but let me explain. If you don't do well at your job, that's an opportunity for you to learn more. I'm not saying that, it's the best thing, but if you don't fail and you don't learn how to improve, then there's no room for you to grow. So say, for example, if you're placed at a WEX and you completely bomb it, be honest with yourself and say, okay, what could I have done better? And then talk about and think about some ways how you can improve for the next job. I mean, that's the only way that you're going to learn. And maybe you didn't do so well because it wasn't a good fit for you. Maybe you're forcing yourself to be in a career pathway that probably isn't the best choice for you. So that, again, going back to that open-mindedness and looking at what's presented to you and not trying to force it to what you want it to be, but look at it for what it is.
The next question, and you said this one, is there resume help?
Does a resume help?
Is there resume help?
Yes.
Guessing and help
Yes.
writing them.
The success coaches will help you with editing or modifying a resume that you already have or helping you to create your first resume.
You also mentioned, this isn't a question, but you also mentioned, I believe on the same slide with the resume info, that they help with soft skills. With the success coach, do they kind of prep them for interviews? Can you talk a little bit about what their work with us, a little bit more about what their work with a success coach is like?
Sure. So prepping for interviews or for even your WEX, like your first, day at your paid internship, the success coach is going to go through those assessments with you and really just have, a very frank and candid conversation with you so that you can learn, you can share more about yourself, what your strengths are, and then the success coach can learn so that he or she can know where they need to focus their attentions in teaching you, certain soft skills. For example, some people are just naturally good at conflict resolution, and that's a soft skill. So that's something that your success coach wouldn't have to spend too much time on because that's something that, you're naturally good at. But in other cases, you may need more help or attention with other soft skills. So we have curriculum that we use and that we refer to in order to help you to develop or fine tune soft skills that you already have.
Right. This next question, I'm going to ask it, but also add on to it. Can I still go to college after this? I feel like a lot of students have asked me this. They'll either say, what's the college to job transition like? But what about students who don't go to college right away? What is that job to college transition like? And I guess, do you guys prep them for that?
Right. That's actually a really good question because gone are the days. So many things have changed since COVID came into, the world. So many things have shifted and people have come to a lot of realizations, and one of them being higher education. A lot of people have shifted and said, you know what, maybe I don't want to go right into college. Maybe it'd be a better choice for me to go and get some work experience in that career, that I'm interested in. So one of the ways that we help to prep you for that is once you enroll into our program, you sit down with your success coach and you talk about what your goals are and how you see it mapped out for yourself. And then you and your success coach will write out a plan about how you intend to achieve that. So say, for example, if you want to get some work experience first and work in our WEX program, get those couple of months of experience under your belt. And then you decide, you know what, okay, now I want to apply for this particular program at a tech school or a community college or, whatever your education choice is. But having that experience beforehand, like paid internships and learning about soft skills and all of those other things can actually make you a better rounded student before you even start taking classes at the collegiate level. So that's how we really prepare. We help you to really solidify and clarify what you want, and then help you to write that plan out and what steps you need to do to achieve it. And a good way is to actually start with an internship, gaining that experience, and also networking. So say, for example, if you are interested in being a marketing assistant or a marketing person. I'm sorry, I don't know the titles for occupations in marketing, but say that's your area of interest, right? And you don't want to go straight into college after you graduate from high school. A really good thing would be for you to get in our WEX program, be assigned to a marketing company, get that experience so that when you apply for a marketing certification program or something related in college, you can actually put that in your application. Look, I have 5 months or 6 months of experience already in this field, so I'd like to supplement that experience with, formal education, which is a huge plus.
Love it, love it. The more experience, the better. Not only in your workplace, but now, guys, take the opportunity to explore and just figure things out and gain more skills from doing that. So thank you for saying that. Next question, you mentioned technician jobs. Will that include aviation?
We do have some aviation positions that are on our approved list. If I'm not mistaken, I believe aviation mechanic is one of them because there's such a huge demand right now because there's a shortage of aircraft mechanics. But if you're interested in just, browsing to see what's out there and what's on our list, please feel free to visit our website at CareerSourceBroward.com. and then just click on training. There's a menu at the top, and just follow and navigate to training, and then you can look on our list of approved colleges and approved programs. But for sure, aircraft mechanic is on there, along with a couple of other positions that are related to aviation, but I can't remember them off the top of my head because we have so many that are approved.
Yeah, that is definitely one of the major fields, lots of openings there. And that, I just put the website in the chat. That was the last question. So thank you so much, Yoshika, for being here with us and sharing all of this great information. I did have one question that was in the chat, but not for you. Is this being recorded? Yes, this session is recorded. It will be on our YouTube page, the College and Career Corner. Go to CareerSource Broward for more information from this presentation. Also go to browardschools.com/brace, and you will see all of our upcoming events. Next week, we have FAFSA Live in Haitian Creole for all of our seniors whose families speak Haitian Creole. Please join that session. And then on December 21st, we have Broward Bridge to Life. Again, sticking with the career themes, they will have presenters from the marine field. So marine and aviation are two huge ones. So please come join that. Oh, I just had somebody sneak in a question. Oh, they said thank you. You're welcome. And yes, that's all that we have. And again, thank you, Yoshika, for joining us, and everybody have a great evening.
Thank you. Good night.